Welcome to our Hong Kong Brief program. Today, we have some exciting stories lined up for you. First, MioTech, a Hong Kong-based company, is looking to expand its ESG data services by forming new partnerships. This move comes as regulatory demands become stricter, pushing the company to innovate and grow its business across Asia. Stay tuned to learn how these collaborations could reshape the industry landscape. Next up, Hong Kong's fencing star Vivian Kong has announced she will take a break from her 20-year career after the Paris Games. Kong, who made history as the first woman from Hong Kong to win a gold medal in fencing, plans to focus on a new career and establish a charity to help children engage in sports. Her decision has garnered much support from fans and peers alike. Finally, global clothing brands like Uniqlo and Nike are facing tough times in China as consumer preferences shift towards more affordable options. This trend has impacted sales and forced companies to rethink their strategies in one of the world's largest markets. Please stay tuned for more details on these stories. South China Morning Post, MioTech, a Hong Kong-based company specializing in sustainability data and software, is expanding its partnerships with rating and verification firms to help clients meet tougher regulatory demands. CEO Jason Tu emphasized that MioTech's data platform already includes all mainstream global sustainability standards, and the company aims to extend its offerings in core markets such as mainland China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, South Korea, and Southeast Asia. Recent collaborations with TVSD and its subsidiaries in Singapore, South Korea, and China exemplify this strategy, allowing MioTech to offer direct reporting verification services to its clients. MioTech, founded in 2016, has developed software to help exporters comply with European Union regulations, including those aimed at preventing deforestation. With ESG disclosure regulations from the EU expected to grow, MioTech is positioning itself to meet the rising demand for data collation and reporting tools. The company, backed by investors like HSBC, JP Morgan Chase, and Moody's, has raised over $100 million and is exploring alternative capital market operations to fund its growth amid a challenging stock market environment. South China Morning Post, Vivian Kong Man Wai, Hong Kong's Olympic champion fencer, announced she is taking a break from professional fencing after a 20-year career. Kong, who made history by becoming the first woman from Hong Kong to win fencing gold at the Paris Games, shared her decision on Instagram, expressing gratitude for her journey in the sport. She plans to focus on a new career and hopes to establish a charity to help children find joy in sports. Despite disabling comments on her announcement post, fans flocked to her earlier posts to wish her well and thank her for her contributions to fencing. Kong also plans to use part of her $6 million Hong Kong dollars award from the Hong Kong Jockey Club to set up a non-profit organization. Her recent political stance, revealed in her master's thesis supporting Beijing's overhaul of Hong Kong's electoral system, has sparked debate online, with some users mockingly referring to her as a potential future chief executive due to her Beijing-friendly views. South China Morning Post, global and domestic middle-market apparel brands in China, such as Uniqlo and Li Ning, are facing declining demand as consumers opt for better value amid economic uncertainties. Fast Retailing, the parent company of Uniqlo, reported struggling revenue in mainland China, citing a mismatch between product offerings and local preferences. Domestic brands like Li Ning and Step also saw slower sales growth. The shift is attributed to economic concerns, including rising unemployment and a housing market slump, prompting consumers to prioritize value-for-money alternatives. Brands positioned in the middle market are particularly challenged as consumer preferences shift towards either value-driven or luxury products. Upmarket brands like Nike are also affected, with the company lowering its growth guidance due to waning demand in Greater China. The rise of affordable substitutes and unbranded apparel on platforms like Douyin and Pinduoduo is further impacting established brands. This trend is expected to continue as consumers focus on job security and cut unnecessary spending during economic downturns. South China Morning Post. As a major beneficiary of deepening Sino-American trade relations during the 2 decades after the Cold War, Hong Kong has borne the brunt of the recent deterioration in relations between China and the United States. From the trade war to the aftermath of the 2019 protests, the city has been battered by daunting geopolitical headwinds since Donald Trump's election. Yet, there remains a silver lining. Hong Kong could capitalize on the trend by optimizing possible upsides while minimizing downsides. The city must position itself as the primary destination for ethnic Chinese professionals leaving the West amid escalating tensions. Hong Kong's exceptional higher education institutions and prime access to the mainland make it well placed to attract world-leading researchers. Furthermore, Hong Kong should help Chinese firms navigate international markets and serve as a repository of regional knowledge, contacts, and networks. The ingenious one country, two systems formula gives Hong Kong the prerogative to be the most open and international-facing part of China, serving as a buffer zone for dialogues between Chinese and American state officials, academics, and entrepreneurs. South China Morning Post. Stephanie Ohoishan was hailed as a legend and a pillar by her peers after what may have been her last major meet for Hong Kong at the Paris Games. The 5-time Olympian, who has indicated she may not compete by the Los Angeles Games in 4 years, has left a lasting legacy. Siobhan Haughey, a quadruple Olympic medalist, praised Oh's persistence and evolution in her swimming career. Oh has competed in freestyle, backstroke, medley relay, and freestyle relay, breaking Hong Kong's 200-meter freestyle record as a debutante in Beijing in 2008. Her teammates, including Tam Hoi Lam and Natalie Kinshuk Tung, expressed their admiration and gratitude for Oh's guidance and friendship. Despite the possibility of retirement, Oh remains undecided about her future, expressing a desire for rest and normalcy. Her contributions to Hong Kong swimming are celebrated, and her impact on younger generations is profound. South China Morning Post. Hong Kong's tiny subdivided homes, notorious for poor living conditions, are expected to be regulated after the city leader reviews proposals from a cross-departmental task force. Retiree Amy Ng, who bought a 230-square-foot flat and split it into 2 subdivided units, is anxious about the new rules and the costs of meeting them. Landlords like Carlos Chan, who rents out subdivided flats, worry about having enough time to fix their flats and the potential costs. Tenants like April Wong, who live in illegal subdivided flats, are concerned about being evicted and the availability of temporary accommodation. Social workers emphasize the need for emotional support for affected residents. The Concerning Subdivided Units Alliance suggests providing a one-off cash subsidy to those who wish to find their own accommodation and recommends starting enforcement with the worst quality flats. Housing Minister Winnie Ho Wing-yin highlights the need to balance various factors before submitting the proposals, acknowledging the potential impact on landlords and tenants. South China Morning Post. It took 5 months and more than a dozen rounds of talks, but Taiwan and mainland China finally reached an agreement for the return of 2 mainland fishermen's remains this week. The fishermen died near the Taiwan-controlled island of Quemoy, also known as Kinmen, on February 14 after their boat capsized during a pursuit by Taiwanese Coast Guard boats. This incident triggered a series of accusations from both sides of the Taiwan Strait. However, the agreement, which includes Taiwan compensating the victims' families and repatriating the bodies, has raised hopes for reopening dialogue channels between the two sides. Legislators from Taiwan's Kuomintang, KMT, party see this as a positive step towards mending relations. Yet, analysts remain cautious as both sides are reluctant to compromise on critical issues, particularly the 1992 consensus, which Beijing views as the foundation for any talks. The consensus allows for the notion of one China while permitting different interpretations of what that China stands for. Taiwan's current leadership, under Tsai Ing-wen and her successor William Lai Ching-te, has avoided this consensus, much to Beijing's discontent. South China Morning Post: in mid-autumn, a couple left Hong Kong to start a new life sailing the high seas, navigating from Taiwan to Japan. They battled the notorious currents of the Taiwan Strait, known as the Black Ditch, which challenged their journey with steep waves and cold rain. Their dream of exploring the seas had been 3 decades in the making, and after years of preparation and pandemic-induced delays, they finally set sail. As they navigated the waters, they discovered the rich maritime history of East Asia, from centuries of trade and piracy to colonial influences. Their voyage was not without its challenges. They faced bureaucratic hurdles in Taiwan, where they were initially denied entry and had to wait hours at sea before being allowed into port. Despite these obstacles, they found a welcoming community in Taiwan and continued their journey to Japan, where they experienced a more organized and welcoming entry process. Their adventure took them through the Ryukyu Islands, Okinawa, and various historical ports, each with its own layered history of trade, conflict, and cultural exchange. South China Morning Post: Generation Z in Hong Kong is grappling with higher rates of depression and anxiety than any other age group, as highlighted by a recent Hong Kong Mental Health Association survey. Tiffany, a 28-year-old ambassador for the mental health charity Mind HK, has been battling depression since her teens. She struggled to confront her emotions and kept quiet about her condition, feeling numb and living on autopilot. The pressure to succeed and the stigma surrounding mental health issues prevented her from seeking help earlier. Dr. Michelle Tam, a Hong Kong-based psychiatrist, emphasizes the importance of early intervention to prevent a downward spiral. The COVID-19 pandemic exacerbated the issue, leading to increased social isolation and missed opportunities for social interaction. Tiffany eventually sought help through the Integrated Community Center for Mental Wellness, which provided her with nearly 2 years of free therapy. She learned to process and verbalize her feelings, improving communication with her family. Wellness influencer Katie EU also shares her story of struggling with mental health in Hong Kong's pressure cooker environment, finding solace and understanding through professional help and social media advocacy. Both Tiffany and Katie stress the importance of ending the stigma and raising awareness to help others speak out about their mental health challenges. South China Morning Post: Wang Xinyu and Zhang Zhizhen's remarkable journey to an Olympic silver medal in Paris has sparked a renewed interest in tennis in China. Since Li Na's retirement, Chinese tennis has been searching for a new icon, and Zheng Qinwen appears poised to fill that role. Despite facing formidable opponents, Wang and Zhang demonstrated resilience by coming from behind in multiple matches at Roland Garros. In the final, they narrowly missed out on gold after a thrilling tiebreak against Czech players Tomáš Makák and Kateřina Siniakova. Their success is not just personal but a beacon for Chinese tennis, inspiring both male and female players. Wang, inspired by Li Na's Grand Slam victories, hopes to emulate her impact on young athletes. Novak Djokovic also highlighted the significance of Zheng's progress, emphasizing China's potential as a massive market for tennis. Zhang and Wang's journey is more than a sporting achievement, it's a cultural shift, drawing more Chinese people into the world of tennis and fostering a new generation of enthusiasts and players. SCMP Opinion: Hong Kong's education system is known for its rigidity and intense pressure, with academic performance often being the sole measure of success. However, a proposed change could mark a significant shift. For the first time, primary school students may have their sports performance evaluated alongside academic scores in the allocation process for secondary schools. This change aims to promote a more holistic education, reducing the emphasis on rote learning and encouraging physical well-being. Currently, internal assessments in core subjects like Chinese, English, and mathematics play a crucial role in secondary school placements. The inclusion of physical education, even in a small capacity, is seen as a positive step towards a more balanced education system. This reform hopes to encourage schools and parents to invest more in children's physical health, countering the sedentary lifestyle prevalent among modern youth. By integrating PE into the assessment criteria, Hong Kong is taking a belated but important step towards reforming its education system to nurture well-rounded individuals. South China Morning Post. Reese Witherspoon, Hollywood's beloved actress, seems to have a new romantic interest in German financier Oliver Harman. The pair have been spotted together in New York, sparking rumors of a budding romance. Harman, who is 8 years older than Witherspoon, is a founding partner at Searchlight Capital Partners, a private equity firm managing over $10 billion in assets. He has an impressive academic background with degrees from Brown University and Harvard Business School. Harman is also deeply involved in philanthropy, serving on several boards, including Into University and Art Angel. He shares 2 sons with his ex-wife, Mala Gonkar, while Witherspoon co-parents her son Tennessee with ex-husband Jim Toth and has 2 older children from her marriage to Ryan Phillip. This potential new relationship comes after rumors of Witherspoon dating Kevin Costner were debunked. As fans speculate about this new development, Witherspoon and Harman's connection appears to be growing stronger with each public appearance. South China Morning Post. As the 2024 presidential election looms, the spotlight is on Donald Trump and his family, including Kimberly Guilfoyle, the fiancée of Donald Trump Jr. Guilfoyle, a former Victoria's Secret model and Fox News host, has had a colorful past, including working alongside Kamala Harris and marrying California Governor Gavin Newsom. Her 17-year-old son, Ronan Anthony Villancy, whom she shares with ex-husband Eric Villancy, remains a less public figure. Known affectionately as Road Dogg by his mother, Ronan is active in sports like American football, fishing, and wakeboarding. He has shown support for his mother by attending Trump-related events, including the 2024 Republican National Convention. Guilfoyle and Trump Jr. reportedly met through their children, as Ronan and Trump Jr.'s daughter Kai attended the same school. SCMP Opinion. The rapid advancement of artificial intelligence, AI, technology necessitates a well-thought-out response from governments, particularly in Hong Kong, which aims to be a hub for innovation and intellectual property trading. A recent 2-month consultation by the Hong Kong government seeks to address AI-related copyright issues. The consultation paper covers copyright protection, liability, and exemptions, suggesting that existing laws are mostly adequate but leaving some questions, such as the ownership of AI-generated content, to be decided by courts. A significant proposal includes introducing copyright exemptions for text and data mining to foster AI development, balancing the rights of users and copyright owners. This consultation aims to build consensus and ensure that legal amendments provide clarity while carefully weighing competing interests. South China Morning Post. In a star-studded virtual event titled White Dudes for Harris, prominent figures like Mark Ruffalo, Mark Hamill, and Lance Bass rallied white men to support Kamala Harris in the upcoming presidential election. The event, which raised about $4 million, emphasized the importance of white men voting for Harris to counter Donald Trump's stronghold on this demographic. Speakers highlighted how supporting reproductive rights and other key issues benefits everyone. Jeff Bridges, known for his role in The Big Lebowski, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who condemned Trump as a con man, were among the participants. Mark Hamill stressed the importance of voting, while Josh Groban and others voiced their political commitment despite industry pressures. The event is part of a series of successful video calls for Harris, following one led by Black women that saw President Joe Biden endorse her. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.